overindulging in food and drink, as we know, and for people who regularly suffer from heartburn, this overindulging can make conditions worse. Before you reach for the heartburn medication to relieve those symptoms, it's important to find out if there's something more serious going on. Take a look.
We actually found that nearly 70% of Denverites actually suffer from heartburn at least twice a week, if not more. And if you actually look at this problem nationwide, nearly 20% of all U.S. adults actually suffer from chronic reflux or reflux symptoms on a weekly basis. So these are really astounding statistics. These symptoms are annoying, right? I mean, it can affect your day-to-day activities, and it can really negatively impact your quality of life. But just as important, if not more important, is the fact that this chronic reflux in a select few individuals can result in a change in the lining of your esophagus and result in a condition called Barrett's esophagus, which is a precancerous condition for esophageal cancer. You should also be seeking medical attention if you have any of these alarm symptoms or red flags, such as unintentional weight loss, if you have anemia, if you have trouble swallowing. So if you have any of these symptoms, you should definitely be talking to your primary care physician and your gastroenterologist. What our research showed, that the majority of individuals actually do not recognize this association between chronic heartburn and esophageal cancer. It's important for our viewers to recognize that that really is the most important risk factor for esophageal cancer. And to be more precise, it's esophageal adenocarcinoma that we're really talking about. This really is one of the most fastest rising cancers in the United States. It's not just reflux, though, that puts you at risk for esophageal cancer. It's also individuals who smoke, who have a few excess tires on their abdomen, white males. These are all individuals at risk for esophageal cancer. So our viewers really need to be aware of this.
Those are good tips, absolutely, for people to be thinking about. You also have some great advances that help you sort of identify some of these characteristics before it gets too far into the process, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So this has been work in progress, and the GI community really has come up with significant advances in the way we can actually diagnose patients with Barrett's esophagus and esophageal cancer. To start off with, we use these high-definition endoscopes, and our screens actually look very similar to the high-definition TV screens that we're used to when we do endoscopy. We've also made some advances in the way we can sample the esophagus, which is a muscle tube through which food goes from your mouth down to your stomach. So we take a good look at the lower part of the esophagus. We sample the entire Barrett's esophagus, which is the precancerous condition. But above all this, I think the biggest advancement that we've made, Gina, in the way we manage these patients is our ability to actually treat patients with early cancer. If you're fortunate enough to get diagnosed with early cancer, we can actually take care of this using our endoscopic tools. So we're moving away from this time where we were referring all these patients to our surgical colleagues, and they would undergo this morbid procedure where they have a part of the esophagus and stomach resected and then connected to each other.
So briefly, let's talk about your campaign, PreventHeartburnCancer.org.
Yeah, so this really is an educational initiative with our long-term mission to stamp out this cancer.
Nearly 70% of Denver residents have chronic heartburn. That's more than 2 times per week. 65% don't even check to see how serious the condition is. To find a gastroenterologist near you, PreventHeartburnCancer.org. They paid for today's segment.